Hello, everyone. This is a new series, and it's about why I believe the Bible. And the first thing we're going to talk about is creation, the creation. So we're going to quote from Genesis chapter 1, verse 16. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. Psalms 19, verse 1. The heavens declare the glory of God, the firmament shows his handiwork. So, one of the things I want to sort of deal with here is that in terms of, notice the Bible talks about the sun and the moon. Interesting thing about the sun and the moon is that they're the same shape, they're sort of same angular shape, but also in terms of the distance. And what we notice here in terms of the Bible, right? And what we see in terms of the scriptures when it talks about the sun and the moon is that one, we notice how there was a similar shape, and also the fact that how, in terms of the distance, the sun is from the earth and the moon is from the earth, and they're all spinning. All right. Now let's look at a point, just to throw something here about in terms of the heavens declare the glory of God. If the earth was stopped spinning for 1 millisecond, the Earth rotates about 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, so everything on the surface will continue moving eastward. So if it stopped for 1 millisecond, everything on the surface will continue moving eastward at that speed. The force of impact would likely kill anyone who landed. Earthquake and tsunamis. The momentum of the Earth's oceans and rocks will trigger earthquakes and tsunamis. The atmosphere will continue moving at high speed, causing winds as strong as an atomic blast. Planet's air currents will change and will cause deserts to form where forests are now, or make frozen tundra habitable, somewhere like the North Pole. So even if the Earth would stop for 1 millisecond, so notice how the timing and the speed of the moon spinning around the Earth, and the Earth spinning around, and the moon and the Earth spinning around the sun, everything is done accurately. If the Earth was too far away from the sun, it would freeze and it wouldn't be habitable. So even the distance that's too near would burn up. So we see here there's a divine order. He sets them he sets the sun and the moon, all right, at a particular place, in a particular distance from the earth. So, and the Bible said that God said it was good. Another interesting thing about in terms of the creation, the sun is 100 times in diameter of the earth. All right. So if you look at in terms of all the distance, the speed, everything spinning around, right? All of them allows the earth to be habitable by man in terms of the creation. All right. So let's look at that first point. Let's look at the second point I want to bring out about the creation. Job 26, verse 7. Now, it was said that Job was the first book in the Bible. That's for another Bible study. But it says he stretches out the north over the empty space and hangs the earth upon nothing. It was said that Earth's suspension in space is confirmed through various avenues, such as astronomy and physics. It was made clear during the first voyage around the moon in 1968, with supporting observations made by telescopes and space technology. So, how did Job know this? That the Earth stretches out the Earth over empty space and hangs the Earth upon nothing? How would they know that when it's only fairly recently in history that people have identified that? Notice the Bible says in Job 22, verse 14, thick clouds are covering to him that he seeth not, and he walketh the circuit of heaven. Psalms 19, verse 6 says, his going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it. There's nothing hid from the heat thereof. The ancient Greeks were some of the first to realize the earth was round. Remember, very recently, I'm talking about in history about 400 or 500 years, people believed the earth was flat. But here in the Bible, um, we read that they already knew this. So this is why we look in the Bible, that the Bible actually proves science proves what the Bible says. Yeah. So Big Bang or creation. And God said, let the earth bring forth a living creature after its kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God said, let the beasts of the earth, Genesis 1, verse 25, after his kind, and cattle after their kind, everything that creeps on the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Now, this goes against the Big Bang Theory and evolution, that everything is produced after his kind. So, in terms of the DNA within each animal and in man himself, produces after its own kind. Yeah. So, in terms of the DNA and the seed producing after its own kind, they said scientists estimate 8.7 million different species, 2.2 million in the ocean. But that's even an estimated figure. They can't actually know in terms of the number of species in the earth and the sea. Now, here's the thing, right? Is that this is not, creation is not by haphazard or by chance. The Bible said it produced after its own kind, every aspect. So we see a divine order when it comes to creation. So here's the thing I want to say out, finish off here with this, is that when it comes to God, God is efficient. God creates this earth, sets the earth in a particular place from the sun and from the moon, everything spinning in divine order, so that all these things can facilitate and produce life. So, why believe the Bible in terms of creation? It's all proven. So, from creation, and we're going to do a whole series of why I believe the Bible in terms of the Old Testament, New Testament, the death, the burial, resurrection of Jesus Christ. So, this is the first session we're going to do. God bless you. God keep you. May He cause His face to shine upon you.